with us. So, to focus on the power of an idea, bringing it to life, and the difficulty of sustaining it for 2 to 3 years, especially when that idea is food. With us today, we have one of such establishments with that. We have, well, congratulations to bring in the taste of homemade Naija cuisines to our plates. 10 years of Labule, which is a milestone. We're thrilled to have with us the business development manager of Labule himself, the restaurant, Hamza Adisa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you.
Good to have you.
We're pretty excited. I mean, when I was reading through your profile, I'm like pretty excited to talk to you about Labule because I know you're here specifically because your anniversary is coming up.
Yes.
But tell us a bit about the concept of Labule, how it started, and how the business started, and how you got involved in the first place.
Right. So thank you for the question. I think Labule is a story about when passion meets persistence. And it's really a story about Labule herself. By training, she is an accountant, a chartered accountant. Okay. And early on in her life, she practiced that, or early on in her career, she practiced that. But she always had a passion for cooking and for serving people, not just cooking. I remember growing up, Labule is my mother. Growing up, myself and my 3 younger brothers, we were never short of a meal. And it wasn't just that. In our compound, there were about 11 boys total, right? And all of them would always come to our house to eat. And at some point in time, we had people that would just send their boys for the summer, and it would be like a house full of 30 boys, and she's just eating them all. Boys. Exactly, right? And so that went on to small-time catering. Actually, before she was known as Labule, she was known as Yaologi. Right, because we used to sell logi. I mean, when I was in school, we would open our booths and all the family friends would come around and get their deliveries of logi. So she's always had a passion for what some may call the culinary arts, but indigenous in its nature, right? So Labule really started off not as a joke per se, but just as a fun idea, right, that they could have between herself and Baba Labule, the co-founder. And what some might say, like play. One thing led to another. The name came up. We found a space where we used to live around the Ogodi area, which is still where we are, along with other areas. And, it resonated with people. And what we decided very early on is that we would intentionally stay indigenous in everything that we cook and everything that we dish. What we eat today at Labule is what I eat in my home. It's what they still eat in their home. So, so that's, she's a perfectionist at heart. And that drive, I mean, I have to drag her back on Sunday sometimes. Mama, go and rest. This thing, they'll do it for you.
Okay,
so,
let's get a few more questions.
So I know that the business has spanned over a decade.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, at what points did you, maybe her children and other people join her in the business, and what has been your challenges so far to get it to where it is now?
Ooh, that's a good question. Thank you. Sorry, can I get that question again? The first
challenges? Yes, when
challenges?
She's run the business for like 10 years. At what point did you?
Oh, did I join? Oh, okay, yes. And then the challenge.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Challenges.
So I joined officially 2022, but I've always sort of been part of the business from when it was ideated, you may say, and how that idea came about. At that point in time, I was actually off to uni. But I'd always sort of stayed in touch when it came to the creative directions of the business, myself and my younger brothers. Then I came back from uni to do my NYSC, and then I had the opportunity, I was fortunate to do a bit of management consulting for a while, and business consulting and tech consulting. And, but throughout that period, Labule was always sort of like my known side hustle. Like, it was this, my main work, and Labule. And so 2020, I was like, look, what am I doing? Let me just take this leap. There were different directions in which I could go, but when you are passionate about something, it's easier to wake up in the morning and go do it, regardless of the amount of stress that may come with it. So yes, 2022 is when I joined. And then she's always had people that have supported her from the very beginning. We have long-time serving staff that just are just as passionate and are stakeholders of the
Right.
brand and the business as she was. So,
Right.
yeah, in terms of challenges, wow. People, process, and finance. I think that's a
Yeah.
great summary of it. She's a perfectionist, like I said. It's not just about the ingredients. It's not just about the final product, but the style to get there. It's home cooking.
Yeah.
It's not the regular, okay.
Yeah,
go
you
to-
brought some for us, so we're going to taste it.
Exactly,
We'll let
it's
you
home
know.
cooking. So yeah, making sure that people get that style and the processes, making sure people are following the processes, you have the right controls in place, because at the end of the day, this is a business, right? So it has to work the way you have, as an accountant, has planned it out, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Right.
those three.
Yeah, so over 10 years, what would you say is the most popular dish?
Oh, wow.
Your own popular dish and what sells?
My own.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's hard to say. People like us for different things, is what I've come to find. So very early on when we set out, we wanted every dish to have that home style cooking. But we had a special focus on amala, and that resonated with people a lot, right? Everybody has taken on.
I hope that's what you brought
challenge.
today. Oh. Is it
Don't worry, it's
amala?
outside now.
Is amala?
Yeah.
With everything,
Yeah.
wait, and everything.
Gbẹ̀gìrì and
And oríṣiríṣi.
and oríṣiríṣi.
Lord of Jesus.
I'm doing keto. Can I have amala too?
Yeah, do it. So I want-
You need to be disciplined.
Hey, Father in
Eat
heaven.
amala today, please.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So yeah, so
Okay.
we've had a focus on amala, and then but later on we found that there was a bit of even a cult following around our puff puff, and then we had some people that liked our jollof, and what we find is for the different outlets that we have, there is a sort of like a different favorite
Signature.
that actually reflects the overall average culture of that
that
particular
community.
place. Yeah.
Yes. Talking about outlets, because you mentioned earlier you started Ogudu and you still have that.
Yes.
So what are the other outlets, and are we looking forward at 10 years to opening more outlets?
Yes. Okay.
I said we. As if
We.
I'm
So yeah, yes, like you said, we started with the Ogudu outlet, and later on we decided to open a Lekki outlet. Lekki will be 8 this year, so it was 2 years
wow.
after we opened the Ogudu outlet, and then we opened an Ikeja outlet. COVID hit. We shut it down. We reopened again because it just meant that much to the community that was there. They were craving us, right?
that's good.
And if you have that resonance, it's easy for you to sell. Then, in terms of the future, we are actually going to be opening an Ikorodu outlet.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much. So yeah, we're opening an Ikorodu outlet. We're very excited for that. It's our biggest one yet. You know, the company is owned by Roots Foods, right? So we're really trying to dig into the roots. We're going to where the people are.
I have to ask you a question that
Have
always
one.
come to mind, because one of the greatest fears of many Nigerians when we send our children abroad is that many of them don't come back, and when they don't come back, they don't come back to our businesses. So
Yeah.
you raise your child maybe making shoes, and you raise your child selling fruits on the streets,
Yeah.
and if he goes abroad, comes back, and they just want to work in some international oil company or something,
Yeah.
and nobody ever thinks of going to their mother's amala shop to cook or run it. So tell us, how did you decide? Especially when you feel like you have international education and you think you could do
Yeah.
something better. How would you go to amala?
Can I also add something,
Yes,
because
please.
it's in line with what I was thinking as well. Like, since you joined as a business development manager, what would you say that contribution has brought to the business?
Great questions. So there's this phrase that has resonated in my mind actually almost midway through uni and till now. Ajoli Dabile. And sometimes I will find myself when I was still in uni, and it's just ordinary gari that I'm soaking, and I just miss it. It's like, what am I finding in this place? It's not that the diaspora, let me put it that way, because some people go off to the UK, Europe, US. I went to the US myself. It's not that the environment isn't welcoming, and it's not that the opportunities aren't vast, that they are. And I had opportunities, and I took advantage of opportunities while I was there. It's just that I think I came to the realization that there's a need to invest in yourself and in where you come from. Why would I put in my efforts into something that is not mine, right? And we find today that one of the biggest exports that we have is our culture.
Yes.
Right? And it is not by flaw. There are people within Nigeria and then people outside of Nigeria that desperately want that culture. Both people of the culture
Yeah.
and people that are not of the culture.
Yeah.
So there's something there, there's value
Yeah.
there. So I think I was fortunate to have that realization, and that has sort of what has driven me back home, you may say, to putting whatever I may offer. And to your question, while during my short stints, I would say, as a management consultant and a tech consultant, business consultant, it really gave me the opportunity to learn what it takes to run a business in Nigeria. It's not what the articles
It's not beans.
would say.
Don't worry, take the street language. It's not beans.
It's not beans. It's not beans. But yeah, so it gave me the opportunity to see the landscape for what it was across a multitude of industries. And what I found at the end of the day was that this market is not going anywhere. This food market is not. Specifically the market that relates to the people. And that's one thing we've always set out to do is we could have easily said we want to do top of the top-notch sort of a la carte style restaurant, which we are going to do.
Okay.
But we wanted something that resonated with the people, local. From Wasiu, my mechanic, all the way to Dauda, the guy that rides my bike and delivers. They eat the same food that the man that I know have seen come from Bagada to Ogudu every single day, unfailingly. He's a big man, right?
Wants amala.
Wants amala. They want, and people have their own unique combos of food. So, yeah, it's
A little advice, please. Can you people not change don't do a la carte? You know why? I travel and I see local Chinese restaurants, local Thai restaurants that stick to their culture and their meals. And so when you're looking for that local stuff, you go there. When you're looking for the Italian, you go to the foreign and all of that. But sometimes when we want to move and shift, we may end up losing the essence of who we are.
Okay, we have to
you're
wrap up.
hitting the nail on the head.
We have to wrap. Your money has finished. Because they're enjoying the conversation and they want to continue.
Bring you back for.
But I think to answer your question, please answer your question.
Yeah, you can do both,
Because
right?
at the end of the day, culture is always evolving.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Uncle.
Yeah.
So please tell us, what food did you bring for us today? Amala. What else?
We bought amala gbegiri. That one will have to come special. But we bought jollof rice and our ofada rice. We ofada sauce. We actually wanted to do full catering for you people.
Oh, really?
They said that we should not do it because we will attract crowd before we shut down the whole
So
station.
Amala is not yet here.
Amala is not yet here, but don't worry, we could do it special.
So that means it will come
We'll do it
hot.
special. It will come
Hot.
because it has to come out of
Is that what we're waiting for?
We are doing rice. We don't eat rice. We don't eat rice.
Let me put my people down.
They're on diet. You don't eat rice. All right, let us go on a break now. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you
wish you
so
all the
much
best.
for
So next
having
week is your anniversary?
Yes.
Like, is the whole Nigeria is
Yes,
welcome?
so for the
Forgot the
anniversary,
reason why you
yes,
said
the whole Nigeria is welcome.
Where?
Yes,
Where is the
special
venue?
event.
Where's the venue?
So for May 29th, the anniversary itself, all our outlets, for the first 300 people coming to Ogudu,
Wow.
first 300 people coming to Lekki, and the first 150 coming to Ikeja, we're going to be giving everybody that makes a purchase free puff puff and zobo.
Oh,
Shit.
wow.
Yeah.
Lekki, right?
Lekki, Ogudu, Ikeja, all of them.
Okay.
Then on June 1st, which is the day we're opening the corridor outlets, the first 20 people to arrive and make a purchase get 50% discount, and then every single person that makes a purchase that day gets free puff puff.
Please tell your mom would like to have her
Yes.
Wake Up Nigeria to
Don't
make
worry, I'll
her,
drag her.
because we have a kitchen in Wake Up Nigeria. Like her to come in and just do
Fantastic.
her
We look forward to
magic.
it. Thank you so
Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.